All right, Cancer. So, yeah, this is, I'm going to hold up these two cards. This is the heart of the reading, and we have a heart right behind her widespread legs. And okay, guys, I'm laughing. I know, because I actually feel like this is all going to turn out okay for you. And I want you to take a deep breath, right? This person, and your subconscious knows this, right? The high priestess, these eyes looking at each other in your subconscious, and this justice card. This is your person. Or if, this is not necessarily, I feel like for most of you, this is about like some kind of confession you have to make to a lover. But for some, this could be a confession, like if you're coming out to your family. And it's because, in your subconscious, that's the only way that you can find justice, where you can find your person, where you can live this happy life, right? So, take that as it resonates. But you're having to confess something about your sexual nature, and it has you on edge. But I see here that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. I promise. Okay. I'm seeing, and I'm going to show you all that I'm seeing that's telling me that this person is a match. Whatever this secret may be, whether this is like the number of lovers, right? Chooses me to have as many styles as you do lovers, or whether you've got some kind of kinks, or, it could be venereal disease, just putting it out there. It could be that. Whatever it is, this person is either understanding or they're matching you there. Okay? Because we have, this stag card. This elder card is move beyond ancestral patterns. And I think these are actually talking about like hang-ups, right? This Hierophant here. Institution, what you've been led to believe, your belief system is what makes you feel guilty about this, right? The way society has conditioned us. And then we have stag here, trust and thrive. So this environment is an environment that is pushing you, right, to move beyond the ancestral patterns. And it's a place where you can let loose, right? It's trust and thrive, right? Trust that this person is going to meet you, that with this confession that you're going to be making this environment where, and this card even talks about in the book that, you can let loose sexually, right? If you're wanting to, explore or that this is saying yes, as long as you're being this Father of Flames. This isn't the Knight of Flames, right? The Knight of Wands. This is the Father of Wands, the King of Wands, and he's touching the Hierophant. So this is like spiritual, right? This is saying that whatever this is, you can be assured that Spirit does not disapprove. All right. Now, the other thing is the so the Father of Flames, right? Like I said, I feel like, and it's like we see him here. And it's like he's pushing the past behind him, right? It looks like it's, there's this bend here. So in the past, you, him, right? Because Freddie Mercury, he's not necessarily a nun. So, moving beyond the past. this is a mature individual. Or maybe this is you worrying about them being a player. No. This is someone that, yes, has a, like I said, I felt that, I thought it was about courage. Well, it's about courage. I think Spirit is giving you a boost to say whatever needs to be said. But there's that's also that sexual desire, right? As soon as I got into that sacral, that that's that masculine and feminine energy. There's a lot of passion here, a lot of sexual drive. And yeah, I think you know that there, with this drama here, that this could be a blow up, right? This could cause some drama. But you know that you have to do it. But it's going to work out well, right? I feel like this is you, or I mean, it can be either or, but my feeling is that this is you, right? The Queen of Hearts, Cancer. And then this is your person. And I mean, if that's them, they're not running away, right? There's passion here. Yeah, I'm looking at this leopard peeking through here. They know, they're quite aware that the past is the past. Okay. So, some of the other clues. And I have to go here. Ah, beautiful. Okay, I had... there are all kinds of things down here. So we've got drum, dream and journey. Trader, right? This is, to me, it says exchange energy. And what that's saying to me is that you all have equal energy, right? You all are the same. We've got trust in higher forces. Once again, we've got that trust here. They're bringing you together for a reason. She-wolf, unleash the wild within. And then we have heart guardian, love and let yourself be loved. And then we have warrior, be fearless and stand strong. And, they're good cards after that, but I just felt like those really were like, yes, this is part of it. But, letting that wild part of you out, confessing it, whether you're masculine, feminine, right? Because this really, I feel like this has to do with Black Moon Lilith, which is the shadow feminine. By embracing her, bringing her out, and whatever it is, that is allowing you to be more in your heart center, allowing you to be more vulnerable, which in turn leads to more love. And once you can do that, it's wide open. All right, so we've got 10 of Cups here at the bottom, right? That's beautiful energy. Then we have 2 of Feathers, right? That's that indecision, that kind of fear. And then we've got, and once you speak your truth, renewal, right? So beautiful. And it's that solar plexus chakra I'm really feeling. And then it's surrounded by, the throat chakra and the heart mixed together, right? Making this kind of turquoise color. All right. And it keeps going. After these guys, we have Paul Gauguin, and he was a bit of a philanderer. And then we have Ella Fitzgerald. And one of the things it says is nothing is more hard won than innocence. And this is saying that no matter what has happened, right, that you're still an innocent by, confessing by, I always think of her as like the North and South nodes, right? And that's in Sagittarius and Gemini. And we have this new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius. So, and it's conjunct those nodes. They're really lighting up, and Gemini is about information. So this is, you know, this, and the twins, right? So, you know, right? I feel like with this high priestess, you know, right? You know. All right. And then the next one we have. So we have the dragonfly at the bottom of the deck. And, you know, that's about speaking truth to me, right? All this, and it's healing. We've got the green here on the wings. And then this is like the throat chakra. And we have the rabbit, which it speaks to this kind of anxiety, right? Being on guard. But also, the rabbit is, you know, that fertile. It's associated with Easter. It's associated with sexuality. And then we have this awakening with the butterfly. And then we have the golden egg, which is about the heart chakra, right? And this beautiful love that's going to be birthed. And then we have the swan, which we see is this reflection of yourself, right? I'm telling you all. You've got, you know, telling you all this because I could feel that overwhelming anxiety. I mean, it about knocked me out. So I want you all to, and here's another thing, right? This is the water element. This is the 10 of flames, 10 of wands. And, you know, we see this skeleton right here, right? And this is that, you know, you're not able to move right now from this burden. But look, we have this bird here and a bird here, right? This is like after you. And see what else you might see in there. You know, like this stuff will speak to you personally. You know, I can see what I'm seeing, but there might be personal messages in there for you. But once you release this, right, this burden, that's when, you know, this phoenix kind of energy comes in. This, you know, that awakening, this rebirth. Definitely seeing this Eight of Flames. And we see, once again, this leopard in the Eight of Flames. This is in your thoughts, right? This is about, I think you're really thinking about how you're going to deliver this message. And this is Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury moves into Sagittarius. Or, yeah, it just moved into Sagittarius. So it's there. Right, this is about taking that next shot, right? The next arrow. And I do think, you know, this is a time where we're going to be, you know, the dreams, right? We've got dream and journey here. Dreams are going to be giving you messages, so pay attention to them. But also, don't lose sight of your dreams, right? They're going to be things coming up. It's, you know, Neptune is doing, it's like there's this weird push and pull there between Neptune and Mercury. And the sun in Sagittarius, that's interesting. So you're really feeling that energy. So just remember to keep your sights, you know, and wait until the time is right. Even if, it, you know, it's like, you know, just hold tight. I hate to, you know, prolong this, this, kind of anxiety. But, you know, with this dragonfly being at the bottom, right, there's going to be a point where you are, clear, right? The dragonfly it's clarity of thought. You know, that we're kind of having to be the vulture at this point in time to kind of like weed through the, not, you know, the illusions, keep our sights. And I feel like, you know, this first week might not be the best week to do it, right? The second week where there's the Ten of Flames after the, eclipse. And I feel like you'll know, right? There'll be this clarity, this moment, right? This Ten of Cups, this beautiful energy will open you up. I feel like you're going to get opened up. But also be, aware that when we're anxious like this, we're going to have some dreams that are troubling. Don't let those bother you too much. Because it's just us trying to work through stuff. But I'm working through these, this karma, right? Working through our past. And that's what our subconscious is doing, right? There might be some flashes of past lives. You might dream of past lives, right? If you have some kind of who knows? There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on right now. And it's interesting. I just thought about, Libra has some asteroids and some of the new planetary archetypes are in there. And if you have any planets in Libra, there might be, some aspects going on there too that are, causing this, this activation of sorts. This is your person, right? I always see this as like my soulmates, and especially, this, looking at each other in the subconscious, right? But also make sure that, there is there's still that illusionary kind of things not being quite real, right? Because he had the, but then I'm looking at this blue. It's like the blue period. I love Picasso's blue period as opposed to the, why aren't my words coming to me? Oh yeah, that's interesting. Okay. That came up, so maybe I should talk about that too. Okay. At any rate, the cubism. Yeah. So it's interesting here lately, when you go through an awakening, a Kundalini awakening at any rate, I know for sure, the right side of your brain kind of gets shut down for a while. And I'd forgotten that. And then here lately, that right side of my brain has been getting movement, and I'm feeling like the energy moving through there, and I can feel my whole arc line now, whereas on that right side, I wouldn't feel it quite reach. So I'm wondering, since that came out to mind for me, with this justice, right? The right and the left, if something like that isn't going on with you guys. So if you're feeling like the right side of your mind is kind of empty, because mine felt kind of empty for a while, it's because, the left side is really working overtime, right? This visionary energy, this dream and journey energy. It'll kind of get, the Queen of Hearts, that right side gets activated to kind of move us out of this old way of thinking, the old way of doing things.